So that's not a very helpful thing, a helpful skill maybe. As a student, maybe a more useful skill would be to read 10 times as fast, because we all give you this immense amount of reading now. Wouldn't it be great just to pick up a chapter and to be able to skim through it instead of 2 minutes a page, maybe 20 pages a minute? Whiz through those books. So here is a picture of what your room will look like in 3 years' time. Of course it won't, because you've got e-books and things these days, but that's what's inside your Android device or whatever. Can we read 10 times as fast? Well, here's roughly 200 words. Let's see, I want you all now to put your hands up in the air. Okay, go on, put your hands up. And now I'm going to time you while you read it, and when you get to the end, I want you to put your hand down, and then I will know how long it has taken you to read it. I should have got my stopwatch going a long time before I asked you to put your hands in the air, because you're all going to get such achy things now. I should have done a risk assessment, shouldn't I? Right, I have my stopwatch ready, so I do reset. Start reading, and put your hand down when you get to the end. So it's harder for those at the front. Their eyes have got to move more. Okay. Right. People started to put their hands down just after 20 seconds. Around 30 seconds, half of the people have put their hands down. And by 45, most hands were down. So that's how long it takes you to read around, I think there's 250 words in that extract. Now, how can we read that faster? Well, here's another extract. What we do when we read is, obviously, we move our eyes. When we're reading, we tend to make little fixations with our eyes, during which we pick up the visual information from the scene. When our eyes are moving, we're not picking up any information. That's called saccades. And what we tend to do as readers is make a little fixation from the start, just after the start of a word, to where the next word is. We use the blank space in between the words to guide us. So our eyes tend to hop from word to word. With long words, we might look at the beginning and the end of the word. Now, each of those fixations takes around 200 to 400 milliseconds. The saccades are really quick, but those fixations, our eye has to stop, let the brain process the information, and then move on. Our visual cortex is actually turned off processing information during the saccades, because otherwise we'd get sick. Our eyes, everything would be jittering around. We have the perception that we see this solid, fixed world, just made up of lots of little still images joined together, a bit like a film. So one thing we can do to speed up reading is simply to make fewer fixations and longer saccades. So here is an example of that. I want you to train flicking your eyes from the left-hand red line to the right-hand red line as smoothly as you can. Left. I'm not hypnotising you, by the way. This is just practicing moving your eyes from left to right, okay? Without hopping in the middle. Just get that ready. Okay, can everybody do that? Move from one line to the next. Now what I'm going to do is bring back the text and let you move your eyes from side to side as you read. And we'll see if that speeds up. By making fewer stopping points, we will speed this up. Okay? So here goes. I'll stop my watch. Are we ready? Hands up again. here comes the text. Go. Okay, great. Well, we started going down at about 15 seconds, half of you down by 20, and we were all down by about 35. So I've sped up your reading by controlling the saccades. So that's done about 10 seconds off 30 or 40. So that's sort of like a 25% increase in reading speed. Now, another technique involves the way we hear the words in our head. When you're reading this, do you hear the words in your head? In your own voice, probably. What I want you to do now is read this text aloud. You don't need to put your hands up. Okay? So read this same bit of text aloud. Ready? Go. Nice, assassination. Okay, around 50 seconds we've stopped. So again, now the midway point there, I felt the volume fell down to halfway at about, I'm making this up now, about 30 seconds. You're much slower when you're reading aloud, obviously, because you've got to move your mouth and all those throat muscles. You can't start one word till you finish the next. Now, if when you're reading in your silent reading in your head, you hear your voice at speaking speed, that will impose a limit on that switching the fixations from left to right. So you won't get the benefit of the fixations. So you have to learn to hear the voice in your head talking faster. And in fact, real speed readers don't hear the voice in their head. They manage just to pick up the meanings without turning everything into a sort of auditory code in their heads. So if you can practice that too, it won't stop the fixation trick from getting quicker. Now, does anybody recognise what I've just made you read? Moby Dick. Yes, go back to the first one. Call Me Ishmael. It's a very famous first word. So here we go. The benefits of coming to a psychology module. You've learned pi to 70 places, and you've read the first 750 words of one of the seminal works of American fiction, Moby Dick. You can go back and read the rest later on.